Friday! It's a Friday! 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 The week is almost over. What's up, everybody? Hope you're doing well. Hope you had a good week. Wrapping it up. Pause. For the week. And we're going to finish it off with a little bit of David Zaslav, everybody's favorite Hollywood executive. And we're going to talk about a new article based on some comments made by Big Daddy Zaz, the Big Z, the Diet Coke drinking, Batman canceling son of a bitch that we all know and love. And just kind of go over what he said at an investor meeting where the stock was down, I think, like 1,000,000% or something like that. Like, I'm pretty sure right before he came on live, he offered to sell all of Warner Brothers for a half bag of chips and another Diet Coke, and nobody would take it. So we'll get into that. We'll talk about what he said and kind of speculate on what we think is going on with DC just in general. We'll see if any other news or anything like that pops off. But I think it's going to be a relatively chill-ass stream. Maybe even a shorter stream. We'll save time for a few call-ins and whatnot, and then we'll get on out of here. I do want to say, tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. Tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. we're watching Tales of the Jedi. One of the coolest things that I think Star Wars has done for a long time. So we'll watch that tomorrow morning. Come on by if you're a Nerd Avenger member. We'll be checking it out then and there, okay? Oh, and how could I not? How could I not? We gotta initiate the gambling. There you go, gamblers. It's on. It's on! And it goes on till the break of dawn. Or something like that. How are you guys doing? You know? Can we just, before we get into the news, can I just make sure everybody's doing well? Like, it's a crazy world. Like, it's been kind of a weird week for me. You guys okay? Like, is everybody all right? Here, you know what? Let's do something a little different. Let's do something a little different. Let's do this. Let's do this. Throw some answers in there. Throw some answers into the Q&A that I just posted into the chat. How was your week? I want to know. I want to know how you're doing. Are you okay? Are you going to make it? Just let me know. What have you been doing? What's been going on? How are things? It was meh. Need energy to finish school. Rather, retainer hurts teeth, says Chris. Oof. That's rough. Sounds like a tough one, but I think you'll make it through, brother. Stay strong. It was nice and cool. Nice, bro. Mine was great. I finished recording a new album. Hope to drop it next month. Also, Wakanda Forever. Nice, Russ. That's dope. Finto says, I bought a house and baby on the way in December. Life is good. Dude, that's sick, man. Happy to hear it. 39th birthday tomorrow. I feel old as shit. Yeah, I'm just 4 years behind you, and I feel old as shit, man. Finally got back into the gym yesterday, and, like, I tell you, just a couple of years difference between, like, the gym. Like, when I would go into the gym in, like, 2020 before they shut it down and then couldn't go in there and shit, or even in 2019, when I would go into the gym then, now, and when I go into the gym now, I feel like I'm just hanging out in a lobby with a bunch of old people at, like, a retirement home or something. Like, it's a totally different vibe, you know? And holy shit, I'm out of shape. Barely sleeping, working 12. Does that mean you're working 12-hour shifts? That is rough. Working on an idea for a YouTube video this week. My man, Kiki Boy. No, about to have a breakdown if Phillies don't win, says John White. Yikes! Yikes. Well, hopefully they do. Sashin says it was the week after midterm exams, so this week wasn't too bad. Nice, man. It was good. Straight to school. Amazing, but I need more. The Dead Up Nerds, your content is so good. Thanks, Frex. Appreciate it. Won a disc golf league. Okay. Started playing Snap. Stoked for Black Panther. Ragnarok. Wait, what? And Ragnarok next week. Oh, God of War. Yeah, I thought God of War came out yesterday. I was texting Theory because for whatever reason I thought it came out yesterday, but I guess it was just the reviews that came out yesterday. So, yeah, but look, those reviews are stellar. It was awesome? Question mark? Okay, well, that's good. Too damn busy going on vacation. Okay. It was okay. Stressing over the holiday season and money since jobs getting slower. Restaurant, but it'll be all right. Yeah, I can imagine. I mean, things are tight. You know what I mean? Like, even around here, things are kind of tightened a little bit. But I understand that, like, shit's tough out there, dude. Like, the economy feels like it's, like, totally tanking. Things feel tense. We're not sure what's going to be happening next year. A lot of people probably holding on to money, trying to save. So, yeah, I understand. It's tough out there. You know what I mean? Better than my bosses, my marriage license came through. Nice. Gangster, watch Black Adam. Okay. And Chainsaw Man, better now, hanging out in the tower. That's dope. Good but rainy. Pretty good overall. Thank you for asking. Hugs. Hope all is well for you and all in your life. Also, thank you. Aaliyah, I appreciate that. Binging Invincible for the first time. You think season 2 will focus on street level crime? Hey, man, I'm trying to figure out how everybody's week's going on. We'll do Q&A later on the nerdy stuff. Baby is growing. Can't wait. Starting to get the room ready. Snap is taking over. Oh, yeah. Snap's good, huh? Any recommendations on a snack? Popcorn. Got you hooked on Snap? You're 65? Ooh, nice. Past college? Have I seen The Bad Guys on Netflix? No. Great. Got a new Secret Invasions comic with 2 variants? Nice. In the process of buying our first house. Home inspection is being done as we speak. It's been stressful but exciting. Yeah, the whole process of buying a house in America is like crazy. Like, what the fuck? Not too bad. What camera are you using? Just got a G Pro Hero 9. This is a Sony ZV-1, I think. Pretty sure. Okay, cool. All right, let me finish this. I'll end this Q&A. But that was kind of fun. Just wanted to see how everybody was doing, you know? Just wanted to see how everybody was doing. Cool. Okay. So let's get into the topic at hand. Warner Brothers. Crazy article out from Variety based on the investment or investor call that happened yesterday. So let's pull this up and go over it together. What's up, Second Son, my favorite nerd venture, who's definitely not the black sheep nerd venture? Hope you're doing well. Warner Bros. Discovery increases cost-cutting synergies target to $3.5 billion. Can you imagine being able to write off or write down $3.5 billion? Holy shit. 6 months after the merger of Warner Media and Discovery, Warner Bros. Discovery is upping the goal for its seemingly never-ending cuts across the board. The David Zaslav-led company has been persistently working toward finding $3 billion in cost-saving synergies since closing the deal in April, a goal it aims to complete over the next 3 years. During Warner Bros. Discovery third quarter earnings call Thursday, which came after the release of a rough financial result for the media conglomerate and mediocre subscriber growth, Zaslav said the company is now increasing that target to $3.5 billion. So essentially, like, what happened was Zaslav came in and he was like, yeah, we're gonna save a bunch of money, we're tightening shit up, like, all over the board, like, and we're gonna get into some of the things he said about some of the shows that they removed, because it's like, oh my god, like, he really does not give a fuck, and he either like really doesn't care about some of the backlash that he is getting, or he views it as like not very substantial. Like, maybe he just thinks that's not accurate to how people actually feel about it, right? But they've been removing shows from HBO Max simply so they don't have to continue to pay royalties for them being up. Like, it's crazy, dude. And he came in, everything's going bad. Almost everything he's thrown at the board has been rejected. Like, remember the last time we had this big discussion about how they're going to do a whole new streaming platform. They're wedging everything together. It's going to be a singular streaming platform. It's going to have like 16 different tiers. If you only have a quarter a day, here's your tier. If you got no money, here's your tier. And you got to watch this many ads and all these different things, right? He came with the spreadsheets with the numbers and all that. And Wall Street basically said, I don't believe you, and shit all over the target price. So Zaslav kind of doubled down, seemingly doubling down and saying, no, we're going to cut even more cost. We'll see how Wall Street responds. Following that announcement, Zaslav handed the mic to Warner Bros. Discovery's CFO, Gerner Wiedenfels, who said he expects to reach $750 million in synergies by the end of 2022. He spoke about the difficult decision that comes with this increase and noted the importance of centralizing duplicative options. The CFO also emphasized the goal to become a leaner company. So again, this is all kind of trickling down from what Zaslav wants. He wants to be lean. You know, it's really, there was a lot in here. I haven't actually even gone through this article. We'll see if he talks about all the stuff that people were talking about on Twitter. But like, this is why, and we're going to get to James Gunn and we're going to talk about DC in general. But this is why many people say, regardless of what James Gunn and Safran do, you're looking at way smaller budgets, that things are just going to be very tightened up. And I think he even says in this address, the age of spending money with like zero concern, or like the age of spending an infinite amount on a project, is over. You know what I mean? Like, kind of crazy stuff like that, okay? Okay. These remarks likely mean more layoffs are in store for Warner Bros. Discovery departments, and more significant in nature as a part of the repositioning mentioned by Wiedenfels, which he said will give the company the benefit of cash restructuring costs to be realized in 2023. Conversely, Zaslav noted that Warner Bros. Discovery is fully committed to content, despite having canceled dozens of shows across networks this year, and even removing some titles completely from HBO Max, but shifting its funds towards what is deemed to be revenue-driving projects. Right. So, like, there's this kind of new age way of viewing content on Netflix. For a long time, like, Netflix had this strategy of like, they're going to spend billions of billions, and they don't necessarily need any one thing to pop off. They're hoping that just something pops off. And so they're kind of like, just go, spend, and trying to find some things that kind of land with people and then go from there, right? And the whole idea with a streaming service is that you have monthly cash flow. And so you spend a lot, and there's not the need for any individual projects to be profitable. Instead, you sort of view every project as leveraging the library that then makes people want to subscribe, or makes them want to not unsubscribe, right? And I think that, like, the idea that you're getting from Zaslav is he's like, nah, like, that's not going to work anymore. Like, if we don't see that these are major revenue driving things, we're not going to keep them on the platform and pay royalties indefinitely and do all these different weird things that go with having these shows up. So that's kind of wild. You know, and I think Zaslav is also, from what we remember from the last earnings call, he views all of the ancillary payment, I guess, avenues, like having your stuff go to all these different digital distributors and make it available for purchase at $20 and then renting at $5, you know, going on planes, being in hotel rooms, you know, all these different things. He still thinks that all of that is valuable to have as a revenue stream. And sort of, instead of wanting to completely leverage the value of the streaming service, he just wants the streaming service to exist and then bring in all of these other pre-established avenues to make revenue. This feels very different than what Disney is doing, because it seems like Disney in some ways is trying to take out all of that other ancillary stuff and just give more actual revenue to the streaming service, right? There's things even at Disney, like if you look at the Marvel shows, for instance, and I don't know, this is completely budgetary, could be creative as well, but like you don't have a showrunner. You've got a lead writer who essentially functions as a showrunner, but you don't have a showrunner, right? So I don't know. It seems like one of the reasons that people like maybe even the Russo brothers were frustrated with the streaming contract is the possibility of a serious lack of royalties over time. Like, I believe Netflix, I could be wrong on this, but I believe Netflix actually doesn't really do royalties. They just give you a one-time check, and then it's theirs to market and profit off of for the rest of time, and you don't really get royalties, right? So you see like different mentalities when it comes to content in the modern age, and it seems like Zaslav is really, really old school, when it comes to this sort of stuff, okay? So, okay, let's see here. On the good news side, Warner Bros. Discovery's execs revealed Thursday that its plans to launch a combined HBO Max and Discovery Plus streamer have been moved up from summer 2023 to spring. That was their big selling thing last time, so they think they can just pull that off in the spring rather than the summer. Okay, maybe that's cool. Though layoffs have been going on at Warner Bros. Discovery since before the deal was even officially done, the most recent large purge at Warner Bros. Television Group, which handed out pink slips to 82 staffers on October 11th, representing 19% of the studio's workforce across its scripted, unscripted, and animation divisions. Additionally, at that time, it opted not to fill 43 additional vacant positions, making the grand total of eliminations 125 jobs. Oh my God. Or approximately 26% of the 481 headcount. Those cuts came just 2 years after previous round of layoffs at the AT&T-owned Warner Media banner had already cut into Warner Bros. In August, Warner Bros. Discovery eliminated about 70% of jobs, 40% of the workforce from HBO Max. Okay, so they're really focusing on all of that stuff. Give me just a second. I want to pull up some of the stuff that Zazzy has said that upset a bunch of different people. Let me see this. Because although I think that article hits hard on the eliminating of jobs and things of that nature, the reality is that's not even as hard as I think they could have gone, right? So there's like a lot of really, really weird shit that he said. So let's go over some of this stuff. Zaslav says, we're going to have a real focus on franchises. We haven't had a Superman movie in 13 years, and we haven't had a Harry Potter movie in 15 years. What? I like, okay. It's been a week. And when I say that, I mean, it's like, it's been a week. You know what I mean? And I have a little bit of brain fog, a little bit of exhaustion. Is this accurate? Yeah, like, there's definitely Harry Potter movies that have been coming out. I know the Snyder Cut is not a Superman movie, and I guess like if you're just counting Man of Steel, I mean, I would say Batman v Superman is like a Superman movie. Man of Steel came out in 2013, so that's 9 years. Like, I don't know, bro. Like, what does this mean? Like, for somebody that's, like, doing all these cuts and trying to, like, yeah, okay. Anyway, let's keep going. There's some other stuff that he said here. This one really upset people. Warner Bros. Discovery CEO David Zaslav says when removing shows from streaming platforms, they didn't take one show off a platform that would help us in any way. Holy shit, dude. Like, we didn't, like, can you believe this guy? No, we didn't take off a single show off the platform that would help us in any way. Like, imagine all those people, man. Like, holy shit, bro. shit would have helped us in any way. That sounds like a married couple having an argument. You know what I mean? Definitely not drawing from real life here, but like, have you ever said something in an argument with your significant other that's so outlandish as to say that wouldn't help us in any way? Like, that feels like hyperbole. You know what I mean? Like emotionally driven hyperbole. He adds they will replace those shows with content that has a chance to be more successful with a larger audience. Wow. Okay. Interesting. Robert Pattinson will return as the Batman. Okay. Yo. Or a Lord of the Rings film in 30 years. Yeah. Okay, so let me ask you guys this. Because immediately a lot of people thought that maybe they would reboot the Harry Potter movies. I think that would be an absolutely horrible idea, but what do you think in chat? Like, do you think that they would ever reboot Harry Potter? Like, is that what they're talking about? Yikes, dude. Oh, and he also says he's more open to more Harry Potter movies. Wants to do a deal with J.K. Rowling. That feels like a whole fucking can of worms, given the current state of the internet. But he did say it. Okay, so here, this actually, finally, we get into a little bit of the DC news here. You know what I mean? Because he did speak on Safran and James Gunn's plan. Okay, so let's get into this. So over on the direct, it looks like the DCU, that's the new name for it, by the way, is in for at least one major improvement. Warner Brothers has been criticized countless times for its handling of DC Comics properties, from all the Justice League drama to the Snyderverse antics, even cancellation of the Batgirl. It's been a long road. Where's the Ezra Miller stuff? What about Ezra Miller? Dwayne Johnson recently touted how his Black Adam film will bring in a new era for the DC universe. He even managed to get Henry Cavill back as Superman. However, when the movie finally landed, it was met with lukewarm reception, to say the least. Thankfully, it seems like the DCU might have a bright future ahead of it, thanks to the promotion of James Gunn and Peter Safran, both of whom now lead WB and DC projects. According to WB CEO David Zaslav, their contributions will lead to at least one particular improvement. In Warner Bros. Discovery's earnings call, CEO David Zaslav dropped an intriguing quote that hinted at a brighter future ahead for DC Comics fans. Zaslav mentioned how he's spending a lot of time with the new DCU leads, Gunn and Safran, who the CEO claimed have a powerful vision and blueprint, one which will improve their DC films with a more unified creative approach. Okay, so this is what he said here. I've spent a lot of time over the past few months with James and Peter, talking about our strategy and long-term plans for the future of DC across TV, animation, and film. They have a powerful vision and blueprint that will drive a more unified creative approach that will allow us to enable the full value of one of the world's most iconic franchises. They are hard at work right now. That's pretty interesting, right? No matter what one might think of a live-action DCU projects to date, the unified creative approach isn't something that would describe them. That's true. He continued calling out how James Gunn is a brilliant storyteller, while also calling attention to how he'll be the first to direct a project for both Marvel and DC. No one embodies this creative commitment more than our new heads at DC Studios, James Gunn and Peter Safran, who have said that running DC Studios is a passion project, not just a job. James is a brilliant storyteller who had the distinction of being the first and only filmmaker to direct a movie for both Marvel and DC. As far as Safran, the CEO pointed that he holds a producer credit for the entire Conjuring universe, the most successful horror franchise of all time. Peter is a prolific producer whose credits include DC's highest grossing movie, Aquaman, as well as the entire Conjuring universe, most successful horror franchise of all time. We could not be more thrilled to have him join our leadership. They plan to create even more compelling and unforgettable experiences for DC fans. In many ways, we have only begun to scratch the surface. James and Peter have a broad vision for DC storytelling and how it all fits together, and they plan to create even more compelling and unforgettable experiences for DC fans worldwide, while building a sustainable growth business out of the iconic franchise. They plan to create even more compelling and unforgettable experiences for DC fans. What do you think that means, guys? Like, what do you think that means? I think that means, like, a little bit of, dare I say, fan service? Dare I say, fan service might be on the way. Highly respected creative talents alike bring their deep love and appreciation for the character stories of the DC and their new roles. As they told me, this is a passion project for them, not just a job. And I'm sure to be evident in their storytelling. I actually agree with that. Like, I think that, especially for James Gunn, who, by the way, the word is that so Zaslav actually asked Feige to take this job, right? And what's so crazy is I think if things just were a little bit different, pardon me, I'm such a pig. I think if things were just a little bit different, Feige would have taken the job, dude. Can you imagine? Like, can you imagine? Like, let's just linger on that for a second. That would be, without a doubt, the biggest entertainment story of maybe the last 5 years. Disney, who at a time right now where, like, you know, Star Wars is kind of floundering, their stock price is way down as well, and they're getting a lot of bad PR. To lose an asset like Kevin Feige to the competition, oh my God, bro. Like, that would have been huge. You know what I mean? That really would have been huge. I gotta be honest with you, I almost wish he did. I am an super simp for the MCU. I am an MCU fanboy. I am a Kevin Feige fanboy. But I also love a little bit of chaos, bro. Chaos is a ladder. You know? And I would have loved for the shakeup, man. Oh my God, the speculation. What would Feige's DC look like, man? You know, following DC in the same way that we follow Marvel now, I would absolutely love it. I love the DC characters. I love the DC universe. That shit would be hype. Now, the reality from there, or at least what's reported, is that then, after Feige was like, politely, you can't do basic math. So no, thank you, right? Zaslav then asked Peter Safran to run DC on his own. Peter Safran said, we need James Gunn. What a baller-ass move from Safran, dude. To me, I gotta be honest with you, that immediately makes me think he actually wants it to succeed. Because if he was just gonna, like, do the job, coast for a couple years, and then see what happens when Universal buys out, then I think you just take that job. But Safran, and maybe, like, he's just this self-aware, this savvy, or just got lucky in making a decision to then say, no, we need James Gunn. And now they're both doing it. And Safran's not even in some of these fucking pictures. Like, dude, nobody knows who Peter Safran is. No offense. And it's all James Gunn. It's James Gunn's DC. That's what everybody's talking about. Could go down as like a legendary move on Safran's part. Almost producing the cinematic universe from day one by bringing in a guy like Gunn to run creative. To run point on creative. Fascinating. So I guess the big question then will be, is Zaslav just talking out of his ass when he's saying things like they have this blueprint, they have this shit? Like, are James Gunn and Safran literally right now having a meeting and being like, well, Zaslav said we had a blueprint, I guess we should start there, huh? You know what I mean? Like, is that what's going on? Or no, do they actually have a plan? Has James been sitting on some ideas that maybe he had conversations with Peter Safran about? Like, because I gotta tell you, my fanboy wish for this, like the ultimate thing for me would be like, what if James Gunn, for a while now, maybe even a couple of years, had already been thinking of what he would do if he just had complete control of DC? You know what I mean? If something like that, because I would just like that so much, because like that spark of creativity or that thing can be so powerful. Because like one of the reasons that Kevin Feige is so good at what he does is that he is a legit fan, and he would watch these movies and then he would go home and think about, from the angle of a producer, how he would have improved them. And that's like some goat shit. Like, when you live and breathe it so much, that you're gonna watch it as a fan and then as a professional try to like think of how you would make it better for you as a fan. Like, that's the cycle. That's what a lot of people are missing. That's what Star Wars is missing. You know what I mean? Et cetera, et cetera. Yo, Mo! Appreciate it. Thank you so much. I'll get into that in just a second, but appreciate it. Maybe they've got a good plan. Maybe they've got this blueprint. And we're going to have to wait and see. But Zazie is definitely talking the talk. Talking the talk. When it comes to DC. Let's see what else is going on here. Where are all the movies? Yeah, it's crazy. Okay, so yeah, that was 9 years ago. 7 months ago. And even the Deathly Hallows was 11 years ago. Like, what is going on, dude? Like, this dude, oh my goodness. Oh my goodness gracious. Wow, dude, yeah. People are pretty mad, right? People are just definitely not liking what Zaslav is doing. I wonder if he, like, gives a fuck at all. Or is he just like, I don't care, we got to go through this, we got to slim it down, and then we got to sell it, you know what I mean? It's pretty wild. He also reiterated that all of these movies are going to come out in 2023, which is cool. Blue Beetle will get a theatrical release. That's fun. Can't wait for that press tour for The Flash, man. Whew! Can't wait. Should be really interesting. But yeah, that's just some of the stuff that he was saying that I think pissed a lot of people off. So there you go. And now I gotta adjust the thing here. I'm so sorry. Give me 1 second here. I'm so sorry. Give me a second here. Okay. Go there. Boom. Okay, cool. Cool. Selling to Marvel. What? Zazie cannot do math, which explains a lot. I know, right? Well, like, here's the other side of that. Is, like, even if he can do math and it's just a simple thing where, like, he got caught off the cuff or, like, didn't, like, know or whatever. Like, yeah, dude, if you really, like, want to come out as this guy that's like, dude, I really care and this shit's awesome. We're going to do all this awesome stuff. Like, just nail the numbers. And if you don't know the numbers, don't make them up. You know what I mean? Like, do what The Rock did where he's like, he's been on the sideline for too long. You know what I mean? And shit like that. Yeah. My project manager's a fucking idiot. Oh, God, that felt so good. Hey, I understand. And also, I'm calling your boss. I'm calling your boss. Okay, let's get into some... oh, no. I fucked it up. Bro. All right, guys. Look, we're going to go over Mo's super chat here, and then we're going to get into some call-ins, and then we're going to call it a dizzy. Again, tomorrow morning, we will be doing a watch party at 10 a.m. for members, and we're going to be talking about we're going to be watching, rather, Tales of the Jedi. Then next week, these streams go back to 11. We're going back to 11 a.m., so that'll be when the streams are going on, and I'll see you guys then. The mishandling of DC is such a shame. I enjoy and connect more with DC stories than Marvel. I hope with all the shifts and changes that we see the DCU succeed. The stories are there, but the poor management has to end. That's true. That's true. I mean, there are incredible DC stories. It is actually kind of a shame that, like, DC is in the state that it is, because a lot of their best comic book stories are just as good, if not better, than Marvel. They have incredible characters, and I would love to see them actually succeed as well. So, yeah, it's just kind of a shame. Just kind of a shame, you know what I mean? What is the current time for you? It is 12:35. Please tell me the Prime streams will be after the normal streams again. Yes. Yes, they're gonna go. We're gonna go back to the regular shit with that faux show. I think that will be 9 a.m. my time. I live in a state that does not change times either. Oh wait, really? 9:35. Alex says, any nerd ventures in Ohio? State Fairgrounds have the biggest tabletop and retro video games in the Midwest tomorrow. Wait, what? Really? Sounds pretty fun, man. That sounds pretty cool. Watch the She-Hulk and Black Adam pitch meeting? Maybe I will. Maybe I will. Should we just watch a few things? Do some Snap, boy. I would absolutely love to do some Snap and just chill, but I've got to get some recording done. I've got to get a video over to Fernie so we can release it over the weekend. I'm dragging today. And also I'm starving, so I gotta go get some food. I've got to go get some food, man. I'm starving. She-Hulk pitch meeting is funny AF? Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Maybe we'll do that. Should we do call-ins or should I skip call-ins? I kind of feel like maybe there's not a huge amount of people that want to do call-ins today, which is fine. Which is not a big deal. She-Hulk pitch meeting. Man, I gotta get this stuff figured out. I'm gonna go to Chrome right away, dude. I've gotta get this figured out for next week for the streams. Because it's so irritating. It's so irritating. Like not being able to play shit when I want to be able to play shit. Like, ugh. Pretty dumb. Pretty dumb. Okay, hang on. Okay. All right, let's check this out. Let's check this out. All right. Here we go. Let's check it out.
Some new Disney Plus content for me? Yes, sir, I do. Although I am kind of worried we might be oversaturating people with Marvel stuff at the moment. Maybe we should take a breather between projects for a sec. No. Well, okay then. So I was making my way down the list of Marvel characters we haven't brought into the MCU yet, and I was thinking we could make a She-Hulk show. Oh yeah, we haven't done that character yet. That sounds like money to me. Yeah, and it's a real fun character, because in the comics, she was breaking the fourth wall even before Deadpool. You know, I can see that working well in Deadpool movies or comic books, but do you think it might lower the impact of the overall MCU to have a character that knows that they're in a cinematic universe? Hey, shut up. So we're gonna meet Jennifer Walters, who's a lawyer and also Bruce Banner's cousin. He's from the movies. He sure is, sir. And so they get into a car accident and she gets some of his blood in her blood. Oh, unexpected blood combos are tight. Okay, and so since they're related, she turns into a Hulk as well. Oh, wow. Wow. And so Bruce is going to show her some cool stuff about being a Hulk. Like you can drink alcohol and not get drunk. Why would you want that? Pretty cool, right? Not really. And so he's going to teach her and try to guide her through these new powers, and she's going to kind of make fun of him and insult him. So that's going to be fun. That kind of makes her seem a little rude and mean. He's just trying to help her because he cares about her. Well, she doesn't really want his help. Plus, she's already kind of mastered the whole Hulk thing already. Oh, she has? Yes, sir. She's already fantastic and agile, and she could turn into She-Hulk at will without losing control of herself at all. How is that possible? I feel like it took Bruce a long time to master all that. Well, Jen explains to Bruce that because she's been catcalled and mansplained to, and some men are straight up dangerous, she's much better at controlling her anger than Bruce because she's had to do it infinitely more than he has. Okay, yeah, no, I mean, I see what she's saying, and in no way do I want to belittle what women have to go through at all. Careful. But also, she's saying this to Bruce.
Yo. Careful, right? Like, isn't that the energy, though?
Banner, who saved the planet multiple times and lost his best friend and his love interest and was turned into a monster and chased by governments and turned into a gladiator slave on an alien planet, tried to take his own life. It's like, of all people, Bruce? Yeah, okay, so I hear what you're saying, and it's actually not okay for you to point that out. Oh!
Yes, dude. Holy shit. I hear what you're saying, and it's actually not okay for you to point that out. Dude, how is this shit so on point?
Tried to take his own life. It's like, of all people, Bruce? Yeah, okay, so I hear what you're saying, and it's actually not okay for you to point that out. Oh, okay, my bad. Oh, it's too late. You're on a list now. You can't have any opinions about this show without being classified as being on one extreme of a very complicated issue. Ah, dang it, I hate being on lists. So anyway, Jen goes back to her life as a lawyer,
Holy
and during
shit,
a trial,
dude.
a super-powered influencer, which is a thing in the MCU now, apparently burst.
Do you know, like, to take it like to like kind of a serious level though, sometimes like humor or like a something like this, right, is able to say the thing that you can't just say in such a way that it's like communicated better than if you were just saying it. That's why like entertainment jokes or like comedy can be like really, really important. And like the gesture in the court used to be a really important person for the king and for the people to be able to actually like listen to, right? And so I would hope that despite all the noise and all the bullshit with the show, that there's a world in which some people at Marvel, maybe even a Jessica Gao, could watch this and maybe see where some people are coming from and also maybe understand why the show was so frustrating for people. You know what I mean? Maybe.
Through the wall. Uh-oh. And so then towards the end of the first episode, Jen's gonna turn into She-Hulk and everyone's gonna learn that she has powers. Wow, and so what else do we find out in the first episode? Oh, well, you know Captain America? Yeah. He put his pee-pee in a lady. What? Then Jen gets fired from her lawyer job and gets hired at another firm to start like a superhero law division. Okay, so this becomes kind of like a lawyer show. Ah, kinda. Sometimes. A little. Do you know how to write courtroom scenes? Nope, and then so also it's gonna be kind of a slice of life kind of show, like Jen's gonna go on dates and stuff. Right, okay, does she also fight crime or not so much? So like, what happens? Oh, well, stuff. You know, sometimes. All right, you gotta give me something, please. Oh, well, at a certain point, she's gonna represent Emil Blonsky, so that's gonna be pretty cool.
Best part of the show.
I think I know who that is. Remember, you know, he was in the movie, the 14 years ago, he was in the movie. Oh, yeah, okay, yeah, no, it wasn't a super memorable character, but yeah. Well, that doesn't really matter, to be honest, because he's just a completely different character now. Oh, okay, great, it's all connected. Also, Wong is gonna show up sometimes. He's from the movies. He is, and he's gonna become friends with this girl,
Madison.
From the
movies.
What's her deal? She's always drunk, and she's the absolute best part of the show. Nice. Also, at a certain point, She-Hulk is gonna twerk with Megan Thee Stallion. What? Superheroes don't usually twerk? Exactly. So people are gonna be like, what? And then other people are gonna be, you know, deeply angry about it. Oh my God, what? You know, see, that's gonna be kind of a thing in the show. We're gonna kind of rile up angry internet dudes and then make fun of them for getting riled up. That's gonna be really good for the state of internet discourse, yeah. Yeah, that's gonna help with all the toxicity online, I'm pretty sure. So any interesting plot threads or anything I should know about? Oh, there's like this group of toxic dudes that call—
And by the way, this is exactly what I'm talking about with the Marvels. The Marvels has the same strategy. They're going to literally rile motherfuckers up and then make fun of them for getting mad. That's a losing strategy. It's super dense. It's stupid. It's self-important. It sucks. So I really fucking hate that shit.
Call themselves intelligentsia, and they're trying to get some of She-Hulk's blood. Oh boy, I bet that's going to come into play later. The hell was that noise? It was Oh yeah, I heard it. What did it mean though? Well, see, we're gonna get to the finale and it's gonna be set up like a big Marvel showdown, you know? Oh, okay. So there's gonna be this toxic dude that turns into a Hulk and then Bruce shows up and Abomination's there and it's gonna be this big showdown type thing. Uh-oh, gonna be hard for her to get out of that situation. Actually, it's gonna be super easy. Barely an inconvenience. Oh, really? Yeah, see, Jen is gonna break the fourth wall and be like, is this working for anyone? Okay. She's gonna be like, this is kinda crappy, right? Where this show's going, it's not
Yeezy,
good.
happy birthday,
We're
bro.
making the show. We are, yeah. And so then she's gonna go into the Disney Plus menu and eventually into the She-Hulk writer's room. What is going on? Then eventually meet with the head of Marvel, who as it turns out is just this creatively bankrupt robot algorithm making formulaic decisions based on what it thinks is popular. Kinda hurtful. And so she's gonna get him to
Right?
solve the few problems that were actually
bro.
happening in the show, and then we're pretty much done. So does just pointing out that the writing wasn't very good make it better in some way? God, I hope so. Do you think we risk making any future She-Hulk or even Marvel projects less captivating by having a super meta character that can literally change the script of the shows and movies she's in? I don't think you could ever go too meta, sir. Isn't that right, future me who's editing this video? That's a great question, but again, I'm just filming myself pretending to edit this video. You know, I'm not actually editing this right now. Oh, maybe we should check with the comments section of this video. I mean, what do you guys think down there in YouTube comment section? Is it possible to get too meta? Super easy. Barley and inconvenience. Right, okay, that's pretty much all they say down there, I think. So anyway, what do you think? Why'd you just zone out for like 30 seconds? So anyway, what do you think? I mean, it sounds like a pretty good time. I just feel like it's missing a little something to make sure that people tune in. I've got just the thing.
Yeah. That was
Hi, everybody.
brilliant, super duper on point. Wow. I wonder if they have any level of awareness that like that's what happened. You know what I mean? So on point. Okay, let's go over a few more questions that came in here. And then I think we're going to call it, man. I think we're going to call it. We'll be back at it next week at 11 a.m. And, and there won't be a stream next Wednesday. There'll be a Nerdventure stream, but also, like, we're bringing the fire, man. Streams are going to be absolutely crazy next week, so I'm excited. Let's see here. What if the orb in the Kang time chair... Oh, hang on, put that back on. What if the orb in the Kang time chair is the heart of forever and Kang Dynasty, Immortus, turns it into the forever crystal like an Avengers Forever? That's a lot of forevers. And also, I need to read Avengers Forever. I'm way behind on that. I assume you're talking about the new one. So, yeah, there could be something like that going on. But also recently, I think they said that they try to stay like 10 years ahead of the comics. It would be odd for them to pull something that close in comic publication for the MCU, but I suppose it's possible. Totally agree, man. Humor comedy is super important, says Andrew. Absolutely, man. Yeezy Fo Sheezy, again, happy birthday to you. Let's get some happy birthday energy in the chat for Yeezy. Oh no, Tim Roth's son passed away at 29. RIP. Is that true? That's horrible. Wow, that's horrible. Christopher says, Warner Brothers stock is tanking since the earnings call yesterday. Wall Street not on board with Zazzy's vision. That happened the last time he spoke, too. That happened the last time when he was trying to do this. I don't know what his strategy is, and I think a lot of people just don't buy it or don't believe him. So we'll see. You know what I mean? We'll see. He's not the hero we thought he was. Adam D, member for 13 months, says, my wife is having a baby on Tuesday. Any advice for the first few weeks of fatherhood? No, I mean, I will say that I think you'll just automatically naturally have a tendency to want to support your wife in any way that you can. I will say that something that I wish I knew more about going into it, and I think a lot of fathers can attest to this, it's not an across-the-board thing, but you will not be able to connect with this baby the same way that the mother will, and that's okay. So, like, you're not going to be as bonded to the child, especially early on when the child really can't do anything or you can't really interact with the child at all. And so, like, if you find yourself, you know, like, being frustrated or, like, the crying really gets to you or, like, you're like, what do I do with this baby? And then, like, you feel guilty about that because you're like, I'm a dad now. I'm supposed to feel all these things. Just understand that, like, it's just different for dads, and it will happen at a different pace. I actually felt pretty connected to Liam almost right away, but there are things that are different with how I interact with him and how the mom will. So I would say that you'll have a natural tendency to just want to support your wife and just go with your instinct, try to be as helpful and as supportive as you possibly can, and also don't beat yourself up if you aren't feeling like this super dad connection energy thing, you know what I mean? Don't worry about it. It'll happen over time. Yeah. It's a little bit different, you know what I mean? And the other thing too is like dads, and this is like not to take this into like a really crazy level, but men in general, I think don't like share or talk as much about these things as women do. And so I wish that maybe that wasn't the case as much, you know what I mean? Because again, I had no idea, and there's stuff that like I experienced as a dad that like nobody told me about, and you know, different things like that. You'll figure it out. But yeah, ask some of your dad friends, you know what I mean? Ask some of your dad friends, bruh. All right, what else is going on? Let's hang out in the chat for a little bit, and then we're gonna call it, man. Josh, Star Wars Skeleton Crew from John Watt is another Mandalorian timeline show that Dave Filoni so you should have hope for it. Yeah, I'll need to know a little bit more about it to get hyped up for it. The one thing that they said that was cool was this was a pitch that he already had. So Watts already had this pitch. He gave it to John on the set of Spider-Man, and then he pitched it to Dave, and they thought it was really cool. I love that. Like, if you have a vision, if you have a story, if you've got something to say, and then you get the opportunity to do it, like, that's brilliant. I don't like it the other way. where it's like, hey, Tony Gilroy, would you make a Star Wars? You know, it's like, ugh, I don't like that as much. As someone who raised his little bro since he was born, take your time. Be patient. Try best not to get mad at things. It's hard, but you got to do this. Yeah. I think, too, if you do find yourself getting frustrated or mad, like, try to remove yourself from the situation and just try to do like a mom pass back. Because I've come to believe that your personal energy around the child, especially at a really early age, is really, really important. And I don't want to, like, pass on, like anger things or, like, create a weird vibe for Liam. So I think it's and again, just ask professionals and seek other help for sure. I'm just some dude talking into a microphone, you know? But for me, like, there are moments where maybe I just have to completely separate myself and, like, even let him still cry and just gather myself, like, in the next room or whatever, you know what I mean? What happened to your last super chat? I'm not sure. Did it not show up? Oh, okay. I see it right here. Avengers Forever event from the 90s, not the current one. Okay. Yeah, I'm not too familiar with that, to be honest with you. So I don't know what the Forever Crystal is. I assume it's something to do with preserving all of time. It's possible that's what's going on. I think it's also possible he just wants to traverse the multiverse, if you know what I mean. Josh, you looking good today? Hey, thanks, Bismo. Appreciate it. It heavily inspired Loki. Oh, really? Okay, so maybe I did do a little bit of research for it back then. Yeah. So my understanding is an Avengers Forever, right? Kang ends up trying to get the Avengers to help him overthrow the Time Lords, right? That's like how that went down, unless I'm mistaken. I was connected to my first child after about a week or two, once I got a little more sleep. My second kid, I connected faster because I had the first kid experience. Have a great weekend. You too, Dirt Wizard. Yeah, honestly, bro, that's something that, like, I really didn't hear. But as a dad, maybe something you should just know about. Like, because I think you have this sort of, like, vision of what it'll be, and, like, you'll be like, as soon as I lay eyes on this kid, it's all gonna make sense, and I'm gonna just feel so compelled and all these different things. Yeah, it doesn't happen the same way with dads. You know what I mean? It takes time. For some dads, it takes months. It'll take like 3 or 4 months before you can start really feeling a bond to the child. Diamond Joe, hey Josh, hope everything's going y'all's way. What is something you wish to see in Mando season 3? Are you still doing are you still watching Andor? No, I haven't watched Andor since I think I watched episode 7, and I haven't watched it. Gotta be honest, I don't think I will. I really don't like the show, and I have some ideas about why. And so I'm gonna do a big Star Wars video when Andor is over. And I'm going to just kind of talk about, like, Andor, the fandom, the future of Star Wars, and just kind of give my thoughts on it. But I'm really excited for Mando 3. What are some things that I want to see in it? I mean, I would really like to see some seeds planted for an outside threat or something going on that's bigger than those characters, right? I like the idea of a power struggle for Mandalore itself. It's interesting and it's compelling, but I kind of wish there was something wider going on in the galaxy, whether that's the Imperial Remnant, Thrawn, or something like that. Like, that's what I would really like. Mecha Grogu hyped. I mean, the Mecha Grogu is... I'm definitely interested. You know what I mean? I want to see how it's put together for sure. Can't say that I'm necessarily, like, super hyped for it, but yeah. You'll watch Andor in 6 months and regret it? Oh, no. I mean, I don't think I need to watch Andor. Do you know what I mean? Like, I don't think anything that happens in Andor is going to be of such significance that not seeing it or not knowing about it will alter the way I view Star Wars moving forward. You know what I mean? I also don't particularly feel as though anything has happened in the show as of yet that's must see in any way. You know? Yeah. Don't worry. We'll talk more about it later when it's all said and done. And I'm interested to see how the show, because, like, you know, like, it's not performing that great, but maybe that picks up towards the end, and we'll see where it lands after it's all said and done. But I definitely have a lot of feelings and opinions about Andor. But yeah, Yeah. Andor is pretty fucking boring. Good music, photography, but boring. Yeah, that's a thing. Andor is 100% better as a binge. Way too slow for a weekly watch. I mean, but I don't know if I can binge it, dude. Like, that pace? Like, imagine sitting there for 3 hours with that pace. Like, I just don't know if I can do it, dude. They need a palp scene. Yeah. We'll see. She dropped a vid saying the numbers are better than reported. So they're better than they were initially reported, but you're still looking at a number 10 on the Nielsen overall. Or no, it didn't even make the overall chart. It made a certain chart, like I think just TV shows. And it made like number 10, maybe number 6 or something. I'd have to look into it. But no, it's performing wildly below all the other Star Wars shows. So I just don't think you can... Like, there's no information out there right now that makes me feel like, oh, it's actually not underperforming compared to all other Star Wars shows. Like, it absolutely is, you know? So, why did Andor get a second season of 12 episodes? Because it was designed that way. So, it was designed as a 2-season thing before they even knew what the numbers would be like. So, you're going to get your second season of Andor regardless. Andor, from what I saw, was number 3 in Nelson. If that's true, it maybe is the first week, which again, I think had, 3 episodes? So if it wasn't really top on the first week of Nielsen, is that Nielsen? Nielsen. That would be shocking. The pictures and the things that I've seen is it's at like number 9. Here, I'll bring up on Reddit. Somebody just posted about this yesterday, I believe. And I'll show you. Here, let's take a peek. What the heck? Okay, let's take a peek. So this is originals. It didn't even make the overall chart. So this is originals. And it is at number 10. This is for October 3rd to the 9th. And this guy says here, Andor didn't make the top 10 overall, but it made 10th place in the originals, the 5th episode with 356 minutes. Compare this to other Disney Plus shows here. Lower than any She-Hulk week. What? Also lower than any live-action Marvel show except for Ms. Marvel. This week, She-Hulk had 454 minutes with 8, although shorter episodes. The lowest Kenobi ever had was 682 minutes after 3 episodes. The lowest Book of Boba Fett had when it aired was 389 when there was only 1 episode available for only 4 days. Andor, 5 episodes. It had 744 minutes. Oh, after episode 5, it had 700. I read that as Andor. More than double that of Andor. Note, the last 2 numbers of Book of Boba Fett were 2 weeks after the finale, and the finale had 885 minutes. So, I mean, the one article that came out where the Brandon Cates guy like had that chart, it's very possible that you move that chart up like a little bit. But you can't deny that it's underperforming at a level that's staggering. Staggering, dude. Like, staggering. Right? So, I understand people wanting to defend the show or wanting to point out discrepancies between some of the reports that are out there. But, like, you really cannot make an argument based off data that the show's not wildly underperforming. Yeah, Chris, he said the chart was not accurate, but he also had to admit that it's still way below every other Star Wars show. So, again, like, maybe you bring it up just a little bit. You know what I mean? But it's still way below all the other shows. So, like, I don't know, like, I guess I don't really understand the energy behind people being like, well, technically, it's only this level of nobody watching it, when it's still really bad and far lower than any other Star Wars show. You know what I mean? So, yeah, Rings of Power had 2. Yeah, Rings of Power. Dude, Rings of Power performed better than I thought it would, for sure. Rings of Power actually definitely got views, man. A lot of people watch that shit. Faux show! Jake says, I don't care if you like it, but point out the things it has done good instead of what you're doing. It's wild. We finally got a good evil empire portrayal and you're bashing it. So I know I've bashed the show before and I'm definitely going to bash it again. But do you think that that's what I'm doing right here, right now? Because I actually think, and I'm just kicking it now, I'm like chilling back, you know what I mean? I actually think that this week I've been a good boy. I don't think I've taken much shots at Andor in the streams. I definitely haven't talked about it in videos because I don't talk about Star Wars in videos anymore. And I haven't even bashed it on Twitter. I haven't said shit about Andor this week. I think I've been a good boy. And trust me, there were times this week where I woke up yesterday and I was like, you know what? Had a nice cup of coffee, was feeling it, had a couple blinkers, and I was like, I'm gonna shit on Andor again because it makes me feel good. You know? It's like the last bastion of any kind of fun I can have with Star Wars. And also, what the fuck is up with the chat, Chet? Yeah, we had a lot of bullshit. What is going on, bro? Okay, so the last bastion of fun that I can have with Star Wars outside of Dave Filoni's Star Wars is to just, you know, squat down and grunt and shit all over it. So I actually said no to that a couple of times this week, and I just let it go. Yeah. Take Chet's quarter away. 100%, dude. No quarter for you, you motherfucker. C-Dub, remember, for 29 months? That's a lot of support. I appreciate that. What's your thoughts on the Russo brothers saying they wouldn't take on anything from Marvel for at least a decade? Happy Friday. Well, thank you so much for that. You know, I touched on this yesterday, but I think the Russo brothers have lost their mind. I feel like the Russo brothers are like Mark Zuckerberg right now. Like, Zuckerberg wants to just go into the metaverse because apparently, you know, stock price and public perception aren't a thing in the metaverse or something. Because holy shit, I've not seen a CEO fumble the bag like Zuckerberg has in the last 6 to 9 months. It feels like I don't know what's going on with the Russo brothers. I really don't. Like, you'll never have a movie do as good as Endgame again. Oh, by the way, we're going to make a TikTok musical version of Hercules. Like, what? What? Like, okay. Yeah. Yeah. Let's just, I'm just gonna go lower. This is the rest of the stream now. Now we're just chilling. What else is on your mind, chat? Feeling real fat and lazy. What if I just took a nap? Would that be okay? Let's just test this out. What do you think? Show us your 40K army. I don't have an army, dude. I've got like 3 painted minis. Nobody actually likes Andor. They like defending their beliefs. Even their beliefs are shit. Yeah, there's a little truth to that for sure. I'm ready for a nap. I'm ready for a nap for sure. We're going to go to Bob Evans. We're going to take Liam into Bob Evans. We're going to eat a bunch of food and maybe come back and pass out for a little bit. And then I got to wake up and write some videos. Show us your 3 painted minis. I took them upstairs, Star-Lord. And besides, they're not very good, okay? I'm not very good at painting minis yet. Hang on. Okay. Oh, okay. All right. Okay. Let's keep going here. Oh, what's up? Kugler's interview was dope, Ross. Hell yeah. You got your mind on your money and money on your mind. I got my mind on sausage and gravy and biscuits. That's what I got my mind on, brother. And also I'm blurry like Bigfoot now. Okay. You're telling me we can't fucking compete with Campia? You're trying to tell me that we can't compete with Campia? You kidding me? Are you not entertained? Is this not why you are here? The fuck? I keep hitting the green screen behind me. Holy shit. Holy shit. All right, guys. I think we're going to call it. Okay? Much love. I appreciate you. Why don't you like Andor? Dude, Andor's the best. What are you talking about? I love Andor, man. Shit's popping. I love how adult it is. I love how so many things happen. And yet, after every episode, I'm like, what the fuck? What just happened? Yeah. Andor is great. To put your ass to sleep. As I always say, I hope you are having an awesome and a nerdy day. And I'll see you in the next video. Is everybody gone? Did everybody leave? I stood up. Or I sat up, I guess. Yeah, I sat up. Okay, so everybody relax. Okay, I sat up. You know what I didn't say? This, because you know what I wanted to do? We talked a little bit about DC. And I want to say it was like 9:30 in the morning. Maybe it was like closer to 10. And I looked over at Elise and I said, I have no idea what we're going to stream about today. And I was like, you know what? Maybe we'll just talk about Dragon Prince the whole time. And she said, yeah, it seems like your audience really gave a shit about that yesterday. And then I cried. You know, because she's right. But But Dragon Prince was dope, bro. Oh my goodness, it's so good. If you like Dragon Prince, check it out. It's so good. Had a great time watching it yesterday. I'm going to binge some today. Yeah. What happened with the main channel giveaway? I randomly drew myself, and now I have the Reforged Mjolnir. No, we're going to figure it out. I just haven't figured it out yet. Yeah, I'm wearing sweatpants. Same sweatpants I've worn for 3 days. That's a special one. That's behind the scenes. That's just for y'all. Have I been wearing these sweatpants for 3 days in a row? Yes. You want to know else? You know what? I'll get a little bit more tea. A little bit more tea before we get out of here. Here you go. This is just for you that are still here. When Elisa first moved in, like 2 years ago, I think at this point, we had a minor fight, a little disagreement, because I said, we've got to actually like get ready. We've got to like, change our clothes. We've got to like be set up. Even if we're working from home, we can't just wear sweatpants and chill out all the time. We've got to actually like get ready. We got to like treat the day and like, do this thing and like do all these things. I was wrong. She was right. And now we just bum it around. You know what I mean? Like, I'm just bumming it around. Wearing sweatpants, comfy clothes. Chilling. Why not be comfortable? Why not just be chilling? So there you go. There's a little tea, little story for you. Stick that in your pipe and smoke it. All right, everybody. Much love. We'll see you on Monday at 11. I'll see you tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. One love.